Welcome to Cupcakes and Cashflow, the podcast where we shine a light on women in business and women entrepreneurs. The real stories behind the business they build. We talk about their journeys, the highs, the lows, what makes them tick, and all the good bits in between. The courage it takes to change direction and what it really means to create a business with heart. And today I'm pleased to welcome our special guest, Kerry Stamp, the Lincoln Celebrant. Welcome, Kerry, and welcome to Cupcakes and Cashflow. I'm so excited,
Thank you
Kerry.
very much. Thank you.
Thank you for agreeing to doing this for us, because what you do sits at it's an emotional job that you do because it sits at the heart of most things, isn't it? Because I'm going to let you explain to people what you do very briefly before we get into it.
Yes. So a celebrant is someone who creates and leads meaningful ceremonies that reflect the people at the heart of them. I work with individuals and families to write ceremonies that feel personal, inclusive, and true to them.
I'm going to take you right back to the start and how all this started, because you worked in the civil service for many years, didn't you?
I did. Yes. Yeah. I actually started my working life as a hairdresser.
Oh, yes, I forgot. Yes, you're a hairdresser.
I was a hairdresser for 7 years and I ended up at Schwarzkopf International down in Buckinghamshire.
Wow, that's quite a name to put out there.
I worked in the test salon, and by this time I was thinking, I thought the test salon would be really different, but it wasn't really.
No.
And I was thinking, I'm not quite sure if I want to
Did you
do
think
this.
you'd get more exclusive people, or sort of was there a bit of a hierarchy?
No. So a test salon, they test new products on real people. And what they do is they do half a head so let's talk about a shampoo, half a head in just a normal shampoo and half a head in the new shampoo.
Okay.
And they look at it over 6 weeks. And so you keep a report on what's going on over the 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that 6 weeks, that report then goes on the computer and then that's sent through back to the lab again to say what's working and what's not working and things like that. And I thought it was going to be fascinating, but at the end of the day, it's still hairdressing. It's just you doing half a head of hair one way and half a head of hair the other way.
Not being a hairdresser or being in that industry, I wouldn't think about that sort of thing. It's sort of like, I have to do this half here and this half here, and it's not something.
They test everything, obviously, colours.
Please tell me you don't have one colour on one side and one colour on another, do you?
No, you have different types. So it is interesting, but I just got to the point where I thought, I feel like I want to do something else, and I ended up going into the civil service. And with the civil service, I could move around in different posts. And
if for anybody listening or watching, what sort of agency is the civil service? Because some people might not know what the actual civil service is.
People usually think of the tax office, don't they?
Or the job centre.
Yes, the job centre. So I was employed by the Ministry of Defence, and I worked for the Royal Air Force, for the RAF.
Yeah.
So that was, that was my role, just working in different types of offices. I've always been working with with people, the whole of my life, different
Because
things.
you sort of like, you have a very good connection with people, I think because you're a
Thank
very
you.
warm person,
Thank
you're
you.
able to connect with people quite well. You're saying about working with people, and it's sort of,
Yes.
where did the transgression sort of come from?
So, well, it was at the back of my mind for quite a long time. So it was just sort of simmering away. And I had a friend, a lovely friend who was a registrar, and I thought her work was fascinating. And she was well qualified and she loved her job. And I thought, I'd love to do something like that, but not necessarily be a registrar. And I remember reading an article in a magazine about a celebrant, and I thought, well, that's the sort of thing that I would love to do. When the ideas started to sort of come to the surface, and then
Was it one of those sort of like, oh, yeah,
I thought that must be a really interesting job, and think about all the different people you would meet. And I thought, I'm just gonna keep that at the back of my mind. And
because it's not sort of something everyday people want to do, is it? It's getting
no,
more popular now.
it is now.
Now,
It is now. It's
everybody,
very, very,
very
popular.
popular. But sort of like back then, you think, oh, yeah, this is different.
Yes, yeah. And as I say, I read an article in a magazine, and I thought, gosh, that sounds really interesting. So what happened was I took early retirement from the civil service to look after my mum. And I looked after her full time for
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
And after mum passed away and I'd sorted out the estate and all the rest of it, I said to my husband, I really want to give this a go. And my husband said, you go for it. And that was it. I went off to do training.
Was it a very long training period?
It was a week.
A week?
I went to, it was, in a way, it was a bit like a retreat because
That's different.
it was just different.
Yeah.
You can do your training in all sorts of different ways. You can do it at home on the computer. You can do it but I went away and I really, really enjoyed it.
I'd want to be around people for doing something like that.
Yes.
I'd want to be around
Yes.
people.
Yes, and we could talk in the bar in the evening, and we had dinner together, and it was really immersive. It was really, really lovely. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yes, and so that's how I got there.
Yeah, because like it's quite an emotional thing, isn't it? Like we keep mentioning emotion because obviously you do the weddings, the pet ceremony, but there is also the burials, isn't there?
Yes. Yes.
That's a very emotional. Well, it's
Yes.
emotional. Full stop. What you do, isn't it? For everything, really, emotions do play.
Yes, and of course that's changing now as well, because more and more people are deciding to go with not having a service or a ceremony as such, and going for the direct funerals.
Funeral. Yeah.
But what do you do after all that has been done? And I think this is where celebrants will really, really help people, because you can then have a memorial service. And I did one not so long ago, just before Christmas, and it was beautiful. And family had come from different parts of the world.
Oh, amazing, Kerry.
And they all managed to meet up and have an afternoon. There was a bar, and they were going to have a buffet after the service.
Because that's what you traditionally think, isn't it? In the
And
buffet.
yeah, or going back to the old days, everybody went to the pub. You went to the pub, you had a toast, you sat and you talked about your loved one, and you relaxed and remember all those wonderful stories.
Yeah, because a lot of people that feel like they couldn't go to the church and stuff,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking of a very personal experience for myself. Yeah, with my dad, there was a lot of people that didn't want to come to church, and there was like, "Oh, what pub are you meeting up in?"
Yes, that's right.
You
That's
know,
right.
they
Yeah.
just wanted to go and celebrate in the pub,
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a
And you can
passage
do
of
that now. You
yeah,
can do that. You can have a memorial service in a pub or a village hall, or if it's the summertime, you might even decide to open up the garden and just get some chairs round and some drinks in and just have a relaxing afternoon talking about that loved one.
yeah, because I think
And
that's very personal, isn't it? You know, your garden, or even that
yes,
person's garden as
yes,
well. You
yes,
know, and I've never really
yeah,
thought about that until
yeah.
you've just said about it. Have it in the garden of that
Yes, have it
particular.
in the garden.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
And I like doing naming ceremonies in gardens as well.
Explain a naming ceremony for people that don't know what a naming. Well, it's obvious, but explain for people.
So we don't call it a christening because it doesn't happen in church. So, but it's very, very similar. And instead of godparents, you have guide parents.
Guide parents now. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to learn a lot today, I think.
Yeah. So you have your little one, or it could be a toddler. Um, can be any age. Can be any age, and you're celebrating. Obviously, a lot of the time it is babies and toddlers. You're celebrating their name, and we talk a bit about their name and how they fit in the family, and we talk about their future and the community that they're going to be part of. And I do a blessing um, to welcome them, and there can be cake and there can be balloons. And
Yeah, because a lot of
presents.
these people have smash cakes at these things now, where they give the baby a cake and just tell it to smash the cake
Yeah,
up, don't they?
yes,
You know,
yeah,
and it's sort of like, well, that's
yeah,
different. You just give
yes,
the baby a cake
yeah,
and then
and
just smash it up.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, the thing about having a celebrant is that you can do all the things that you want to do.
You're
So
not sort of held to tradition,
you're
really.
not held back. You're
Mm.
not held to tradition. If you maybe want to start your own little traditions, you can do that. Um, and this is why it fits, because our families are so diverse now.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and it just enables everybody to come together, feel relaxed, and enjoy what it is
Yeah,
that we're
yeah,
doing.
and you don't feel like you're having to be fixed by a tradition sort of thing, you know, from like the churches. You can just go
Yes.
off and do your own thing. In all of this, you know, sort of like in the middle of your work, you know, how do you hold space for you? How do you look after you through all of this?
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing how much headspace you can find when you take the dog for a walk.
Yeah, just that little thing. Just
Just
taking the
that.
dog out.
Yeah. Yeah. And uh, I tend to break up my day a bit as well. I'm not at my desk solidly from the moment I get up to the moment
Yeah.
we have our evening meal. I tend to break up my day, and I'm very lucky because my husband's at home. He's retired, and he's my tea. My
Ah, does he do the cooking?
He does. He brings me a cup of tea and he makes me have a break.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
So he
lovely,
says, "You've been
Kerry.
up here too long. Come on, you need a cup of tea."
I'm thinking the same thing in a little. I'm not saying too much, but somebody not too far away is like that, you know, and you sort of like stop
Yes.
now, because when
Yeah.
I'm preparing for something like this,
Yes.
you know, I'm writing my scripts
Yes.
and stuff like that,
Yes.
because I think a lot of people don't realise how much goes into this.
That's
And when
right.
you know, when I'm
Yes.
writing scripts, and it's like, walk away, put it down, turn the computer off,
That's it.
or your phone
Yes.
gets taken off you now, because as a nation,
Yes.
again, you know, we're all hooked on our our tech, aren't they?
Yes.
Our
Yeah.
phones are stuff like that.
Yes.
So being able to break the day up for you
Yes.
is, with your lovely husband
Yes.
saying, walk
Come on,
away.
come and have a cup of tea.
Do you think
Yeah.
that really helps you,
It does.
because
Yes.
it gives
And
you
then I
the
can take the dog out, and you often have your good ideas when you're out walking.
ka-ching moment?
And yes, or doing something, you're just relaxing. You might be crafting or doing, just sort of winding down. And you can often have your good ideas when you're nice and relaxed, and I love being in the garden as well. I really love
round plants
gardening.
and stuff.
Yes, but lots of plants and things. And yes, it's really good to
Yeah.
switch off.
If you're building a business, replying to emails, thinking about dinner, and still feeling behind, you're not doing it wrong. You're just running a business like it's an emergency. The Slow Businesswoman is for women who want success without the stress. A calmer way to grow. A smarter way to work. The Slow Businesswoman. Work smarter, stand out, succeed. Find out more at theslowbusinesswoman.com.
Yeah, because from the outside, I don't think people realise how much goes in to these ceremonies and stuff like that. There's so much happening behind the scenes, isn't there? You're planning different ceremonies,
There
you're
is,
writing
yes,
things and stuff
yes.
as well.
Yes, there is. So you've interviews. It starts with an interview with a client or a family, and then you're talking about ideas, and you're talking about what you want to have in that ceremony, and then you might want poems, you might want song lyrics, you might want a little story that someone in the family wrote, or a little poem that someone wrote.
Yeah. When you meet families and stuff like that, do you get an instinct of thinking, oh, I think this will work? Sort of like you think, oh, yes. Do you ever feel like, yes, I think this song really suits this family, or this poem really suits this family?
Yes, but at the end of the day,
it's their choice.
It's their choice, yeah. So you can suggest.
You can interject a little bit.
Support, and you can help. But at the end of the day,
it is there.
They say, oh, well, I think we'd rather have this one, actually. This one feels. And I say, yeah, that's absolutely fine. It's your ceremony. Yes.
Yeah.
And then, sorry. Obviously, I'm running the diary. I'm doing my computer stuff, and I might be going out visiting venues. So yes, there's a lot that goes on.
Yeah. When you first launched the Lincoln Celebrant, what was it harder than you expected?
A lot harder.
In what way?
Yes, because it takes time to build a business.
As I know, yes.
Yes, and I wasn't prepared for that. And as you know, I go to Lincoln Business Club, and I meet other people that have small businesses all around the city and around Lincolnshire, and you talk to them, and then you realise it takes time.
Because you often think, when we first started this, it's sort of like, it's never going to get off the ground. It's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at some of these people that you think are really successful, and so it's taken me 4 or 5 years to get to where we are. But you don't think that at the time, do you?
You don't. No. I actually, I'll be honest, I didn't know what I was doing at first. I had to really learn from just sort of doing courses and talking to people. And I'm a member of the Association of Independent Celebrants, and doing my different training and bits and pieces with them, and just learning, right from the basics. And as I say,
it's as simple as, like, we had a conversation about insurance, very random.
Yeah.
But it's those sort of things.
Yes.
If you've never run a business, you don't know, do you?
Yeah, there's a lot to learn. And I think
Do you think you're still learning?
I do, yes, definitely. But I I am one of these people that I do love to learn. I love to do courses. I love to expand my knowledge, and hopefully that way you are gonna grow, with your business, and that, to me is important. I did a wonderful course last year with Claire Lockey, which is how we met, and it was a basic business course, and it was 100 hours over a couple of months, and it was in-person training as well as online. And that course was a real eye-opener for me. It really taught me a lot.
Yeah.
'Cause there's marketing, there is the financial side, there are all sorts of things. There's how you market yourself and, you know, what about having a website, and what about, being on Facebook and all this kind of thing.
It's all these
And
modern technologies, isn't it?
yes,
All
yeah.
these modern platforms and, obviously we're all used to computers, but it's all this new social media that's thrown in as
Yes,
well.
yeah, and that course was and then, of course, you do one course, and then you start to hear about other things as well. So, I was very lucky. I heard about a couple of things that were going on at Lincoln University, and so I did a little bit on AI at the university, and yeah, it, that is all part of
Raising your visibility as a small business, really.
yes, yeah, you do. Because you're networking, not only are you going on courses and learning things, but you're networking as well.
Yeah, yeah, because I know you've made some really good friends through going on these courses and,
I have.
going to Lincoln Business Club and stuff like that. You've made some really good
I
friends and
have.
stuff like that. Because you go to these things and you're thinking, I'm never going to have anything in common with any of these people. But once you get to know people, you're like, they're friends, aren't they?
Yes, yes.
One thing, you're not tied to religious scripts, are you, with
No,
all this?
no, I'm not. No,
Which gives the
no.
family a lot of
Which
freedom, really.
That's right. Yes, yes. And then also, um, they can bring in their own traditions as well. So, perhaps I meet a Ukrainian family and they do things slightly, they want to do a wedding, but they also want to include some traditional elements as well. So yes, it really opens things up.
Yeah, because things like that, then families talk about as though like, do you remember when I just random name, Jonathan got his naming ceremony or something like that? We did this and this.
Yeah,
Shall we do it with such and such? So, they carry it on that way, don't they?
that's right. Yes,
And
yes.
saying about that, have you ever had a ceremony that stayed with you? Not mentioning sort of too much, that stayed with you and thought, I really enjoyed that one.
A lot of my ceremonies stay with me. Yes. I think it's because you have such a nice relationship with your clients. Um, Sometimes I get little gifts, sometimes I get
Oh, that's lovely,
cues,
Kerry.
sometimes I get big hugs. It doesn't
And Kerry
matter what
does
it
good hugs.
is. It doesn't matter what it is. But yes, and I've actually um, done a lot of ceremonies and um, thought, just you still think about those people and think
So they've
about,
made a real impact on you,
yes,
sort of
and
thing.
think
And
about, I wonder how they're getting on. I hope they're doing okay. And um, I've done a couple of suicides for a couple of families, and yes, you think about them afterwards,
Hmm.
and you think about them with love and warmth, and you want to you want you want to feel as if they're doing okay, that they're managing.
Do you think there is, people are more open to planning this,
Yes,
funerals
I
and
think they are.
memorials now?
Yes, I think they are. And I think it's really important that it should be talked about. Yes. And things like having a will is really, really important.
Do you think people
should
should do
talk
it at an
about that.
earlier age now?
I
Or,
do. Yes,
yeah,
I do. Yes.
there's no sort of
But of
optimal
course,
time to
when
do
you're
it.
young, you think you're going to live forever, don't you?
Yeah,
You know?
that's the thing, because it's been something that's sort of bandied around in my life at the moment about a will and all this
Yes.
sort of thing. And I'm
Yes.
not saying my age, but it's sort of like, well, do you know what? Am I too young to be planning this now? Am I
No.
too, it's just something that I haven't even thought about, because I'm a certain age, and I'm not
Yes.
saying, Kerry, but I was now thinking, do I need to do this now? Do I
Yes.
need to start planning
Yes. Yes.
these things and stuff? Because you don't. All of a sudden you're in your 20s, then you're in your 30s, then you're in your 40s, and you think, do I need to? And like you say, you don't know, do you? So
No.
it's something that I think, like
I
say,
think it's
talking.
very, very important. Yes.
But let's brighten up the mood and come away from
Absolutely.
come away from that. If you were to describe success now, where is Kerry now in terms of her business, and what would she like for the future? Because you didn't know I was going to ask that one. Well, she kind of did. She kind of knew I was going to ask about success.
So success for me is that I care deeply about what I do and about supporting my clients and knowing that I am helping them, And it's also about trust. It's about connections. It's about sustainability, rather than just chasing, but, constant growth. And yes, so there's a big difference in where I am now to where I started.
And to end this, just to put it on a light mood,
Yes.
we have a little game, and it's called Cupcakes and Cashflow, quick fire, just to end the interview on a nice little silly touch. Right, are you ready on the quick fires?
Okay, go for it.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Why?
Oh, I don't like coffee at all.
Well, that's an honest answer, Sweet or savoury?
Sweet.
What do you like that's sweet, Kev?
Chocolate.
Oh, do you think as women we're naturally programmed to eat chocolate? Because I know somebody not too far.
Must be.
Yeah, sort of like, you've been eating chocolate again. I'm sorry, it's almost like an addiction in our, for the chocolate. One word, possibly two. You may be allowed two, Kerry. One word that sums up your work, or two words.
Meaningful.
Oh, what a lovely, powerful word, because that can go a long way. And finally, what keeps you grounded when business feels overwhelming? I think I know this.
You need to take a step back, don't you? You need to take a step back. You need to reconnect with why why you wanted to do this. And remember, I'm terrible for this. You need to remember that you can't do everything at once. Yeah.
And finally, where can we find you if we're planning let's start, a naming ceremony, a christening, burial, memorials, weddings? Where can we find more details about you?
I have a website, which is www.thelincolncelebrant.com. And also you can email me, which is info@thelincolncelebrant.com. And I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram.
All good social media.
I'm on Google Business. So I'm out there. Yeah.
And Friday mornings, that business got...
Last Friday of the month. Yes.
At the business club as
Lincoln
well.
Business Club.
Kerry, thank you so much for coming to see us today. And thank you for sharing your story. It's been an absolute joy and a pleasure. And to everyone listening, if this conversation resonated with you and you want to share it with another person, just check out our social media, check us out on YouTube. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. So thank you for sticking with us. Also, I've got to say thank you to our tech team as well, because they do all the hard work, actually. You know, spend hours sitting there with the Reddits and things
Absolutely.
yeah, you don't realise how much an editor does and stuff like that. And also thank you to the Barbican Creative Hub for hosting us as well. Thank you for staying with us and listening. You can find us where you get all your podcasts, and don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. And I'll see you next time on Cupcakes and Cashflow.